Good evening. Welcome to this week's live craft and chat. Sorry, I was running a little bit late today and literally had to, I'd set the 1 minute thingy and I was like, oh, this bag doesn't have my project in it, and I had to run out and go and find it. So I am here. I'm a bit puffed now, but I have my project. I think I haven't checked in the bag. I don't even know if my hook's in there. This is not the hook. That's how I knew I had the wrong project. This week has been chaos and awesome. Chaos and awesome should be my motto. Let me know how yours is going. Oh my goodness, I need a drink of water. I've literally been running. So I was sitting here like sorting out some work stuff this morning and totally lost track of time. Because it's like this stream starts at 10 a.m. for me. So I've got a couple of hours where I sort of get in and get some other work done. And just totally lost track of time. And then it was just like, you know, because I thought, I'll come in, I'll sit down, I'll drink my coffee, I'll set this up. And then there was like a couple of messages and I was like, oh, I'll get these done. I never drank the coffee. The coffee machine purged into my coffee. So I had to tip that out and get a fresh coffee. So I'm here, you're here. Let's get this thing going. My little monitor's shaking a bit. What's going on there? I'm still having problems with my Logitech software. It doesn't like the new computer. So the image is still just a little bit janky on the new computer. So, I don't really know what to do about that. It's over bright. I'm going to see if I can do anything within Ecamm to fix it, but it won't let me, it won't open the software. Like I've just got the blank purple screen. I've uninstalled, I've reinstalled. It doesn't like it. All right. What project am I working on? I am working on the new blanket, because I finished my red, white and blue blanket last week. All ends in, it hasn't been washed. Admittedly, it's been put on the couch and Abby quite likes it. So, as in put in the couch, it was taken to the couch and huddled under, and I'm not quite so mean that I can just run out and steal it, but it does still need a wash. Other than that, it's ready to rock and roll. Everything's trimmed. I haven't gotten good photos of it yet because I tend to wait till after I've washed it before I do that. But yeah, that's it. That one's all done and dusted. Did I end it on Ravelry? Let me even have a look. Anyone else like remember to put their projects on Ravelry and then forget to end them on Ravelry? So I do both. I forget to put them on and I forget to end them off. No, I finished it off on Ravelry, so that is good. So I am working on the Coastline Sunburst Hexie. I'm currently using the free version on her website, which I probably will go in and end up buying the pattern just because I tend to do that. I'll use the free version, work out if I like the pattern, and then I will buy the pattern. Let me find the thing. Find the thing. There we go. Because the actual motifs themselves, they're not too bad. Congrats on the finish. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you. Even Abby said to me the other day, she's like, Mum, I'm really proud of you for actually finishing some projects and not starting new ones. She doesn't know about the new ones I started. The other thing that I did this week was I sat down and after frogging the yellow headband of memory, I didn't want to leave it too late. So I've actually restarted it, but in a really pretty blue. So it's still the Midland, still Midland Merino. And I've restarted it using this really nice blue, which I really am enjoying. So, and I've got it set up properly in my documents so that I can work on it easier, less likely to screw up which row I'm on, things like that. Whereas before I wasn't in the frame of mind of planning. I'm also using just another DPN, like a thinner DPN as a what do you call it? Cable needle. I'm actually finding, let me know in the chat, those of you that knit and do cables, a cable needles just a bit annoying, like the ones with the dips? I found, like, my only issue with this is it's quite long. I should probably just go, and it's not like I don't have some shorter ones. My only issue is quite long, but I did purchase for myself. Knit Picks do have a set of straight cable needles. So that's coming hopefully in the next week or so. So I will see if I like that, but I've been really enjoying just using a DPN as a cable needle. I do have some 5-inch ones somewhere, but anyway, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm enjoying the process of it now. I'm not just mental dumping into it. I'm sitting down and enjoying it. So that's the ocean headband. I think on Ravelry, I think I may have actually fully like hibernated it or something. So I'm going to do a fresh listing with the new yarn. So I definitely like the blue. I think I'll wear the blue. So there we go. There we go. You get to see my eyes with the blue. So yeah. I was tossing it between this and there was a green. I'll get you the green. And then you can tell me I chose the wrong color. I stood in my bathroom and I was like this. I was like, which one works better? So we've got the blue. Mind you, my hair's, because I was like in the kitchen like going, and just, I haven't done anything. I'm sorry. There's the blue, and that's the blue. And that's how the blue is looking. I mean, the lighting in here is not the greatest for color checking. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's not the greatest. And then this was the green. And the green, I like the green a lot, and I would definitely wear it, but I think the blue is working better for me. And in real life, this is a little bit greener, just a little bit greener. So yeah, I think the blue is better, which is why I went with the blue. But it's still a beautiful green, but I think the blue works better for me. Let's have a look here. Bianca, it says, I'm thinking of making a bag, a Japanese knot bag, to hold a yarn ball, and was wondering if knit or crochet would be more likely to stretch with use. It's going to come down to what you make it with, I think. If you're going to make it with cotton, I think you're pretty safe either way. So once you wash it and stretch the stitch out, because you know, especially with crochet, sometimes you might be crocheting into like the middle of the stitch, and when you put weight into it, it pulls to the bottom of the stitch. So yeah, life has been busy, hasn't it, Mousy Moo? Great to see you, by the way. But yeah, it has. It's been insane. Kerry says she uses a 5-inch needle tip. Oh, there you go. See, I like to have both ends available to me, but the reality is I do put it on and then take it off. Put it on. I could get away with the tip for sure. When I use a cable needle, I prefer the hook you style. The rest I don't like. They get in the way. Also, love the Flocks by Stephen West. Oh, are those little bendy ones? Is that what they're called? Because they would be great, I think. I think they would work really, actually, they would work amazing. No, the blue is better. Yeah, the blue is nicer. Okay. Knitspin Girl says, I quite like the cable needle with the dip. I saw someone using a spiral one and they said they loved it. I've bought one to try, but I haven't had a cable project to use it on. Well, this is a nice little cable project because it's basically, I think it's an 8-row repeat for 30 centimeters. And then you stitch it to the end and you have a headband. Obviously, I should measure my head to see if I actually need 30 centimeters. This is actually going to be quite wide for my little head. I've got a small head. That's why in my household I'm nicknamed Smallhead. Hey, Smallhead. So, yeah, so that's, how wide is that? Do I have a tape measure? Ching! I do. Let's just, look, you can see how awful this shot is at the moment. It's all blown out and it's not my favorite. Anyway, well, that's currently, and that's dipping in. That's about 4 inches. So by the time we block it and bring it out just a little, because when I pulled that, it's not to stretch that, it's to get these sides to straighten up a little. Oh. He's outside, Abby. Tibbles is out the back door yelling at us. So 4¼ about, or maybe, yeah, it'll be about 4¼ inches or 11 centimeters, maybe 11½ by the time I, because that's still curving in. So by the time I actually give it a properly block, it's nearly 4½ inches, and that's nearly 11½ inches. So 11½ centimeters. Yeah, it'll be a nice ear warmer. It'll look good. It'll be toasty and it'll look pretty. Oh, hello, Lulu. I don't have his camera set up. I just hang on. I had one job. 97 jobs. Let's see if we can bring in the Louis cam. He's here. It's probably not a bad thing that Louis is currently not on camera right now. I know Louis Cam's coming to work out what Tibbles' problem is. What's going on? My mouse is playing up. Turn it off. Turn it back on again. Gabby says, it's been a tough couple of months, but I'm determined to keep trudging along. Just want this year to be over already. Currently working on a shawl for me. Yeah. Look, I think some of us agree with those feels for certain. Now, what was I trying to do before? Louis Cam is what I was doing. Louis Cam. Let's zoom it in. So some of these things I haven't used since I set up the new computer. So, I have a new computer. Yay! The old one was starting to play up and it was not being friendly for editing in. And so I adjusted and, new computer. There we go. All right. So yeah, so this is coming on. I'm not going to work on this during the live stream. It's my brain can't do those two things. But I'm happy with this now. I'm very happy with where this is at. I'm happy with the color, and I've really enjoyed working on this. So some of the tasks I've had to do this week, I've had these little like 10 to 15 minute so it's not breaks, but like where I have to wait for the computer to do something. Even the new computers, instead of 45 minutes, which the old one needed, this one needs like 12 to 15 minutes. So I have to step away. So I go and sit on the lounge and I do a row or two of this guy, and that's been really nice. So I've been enjoying that, and I'm very happy that I frogged the other one. I was feeling a little bit of guilt last week for frogging it. I was erasing memories, but I realized that's not what I was doing at all. So this is ready to keep going. Next project, because that's not what we're working on today. And this is a cool color, and I have 10 of these. I have 10 of these balls. There you go. You can, that's, see how it's got like little flecks of yellow through it and little flecks of blue, and it's very nice. It's a very nice color. I'm very happy with it. I can't wait to use it for something. Let's have a look here. Molly says, I used a U-shape hook. So we're talking cable needles, so U-shaped needle or a flop. I tend to put my held stitches back on the left needle before knitting them. For some reason, I can't get the hang of knitting from the cable. That's totally viable. That's a total, like sometimes, especially if it's like a bit tight or something like that, and I'll flip them back, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a totally viable way to do it. Hey Samantha Stewart, it's great to see you. It is 20 past 10 in the morning on Thursday here. So we can turn Louis Cam off because he left us. He has left the building. All right. Now I'm also still working on this guy. I can make it less hideous. I'll do it from the back, or where the needle isn't. This is a ranunculus that I'm doing in the Bendigo cotton. Oh, that's the sideways because that's the back, because that's where the extra stitches are. Oh, go me. And that's where the tail is. Bing. Um, this is in that beautiful solstice cotton from Bendigo, the big crepe one. I am loving it. I'm making this into like a loosish pullover style. It's going to be long sleeves, hopefully, if I've got enough yarn. It's going to be longish sleeves. It's going to be slouchy, and I don't want it to be, it's not supposed to be snug as such. It's very lightweight. I think, I have, I've added a second ball. I'm just seeing if I've added a third. No, I've added the second ball. There's still heaps of the second ball left to go. And I think I've got 12 balls. Anyway, or I might have 16. Did I buy 4 packs of each color or 3? I can't remember. Anyway, I think I've got 12 balls. If I aim for 12, then I will never be disappointed. So this is going to be just a really comfy sort of, not hot, cold weather pullover, but like if it's just like last night here, it was beautiful, but it was just a little chill in the air, and the t-shirt just wasn't quite enough. I think this would have been great for that because this is 100% cotton. It's a cotton, it's a crepe cotton. Let me see if we can. Don't know if this camera's going to play, but if I go like this, you might be able to see the construction of the cotton. So it's just this crepe construction, not crepe. What am I saying? It's not crepe at all. It is. My brain won't tell me what it is. It's a chainette. It's a chainette style, not crepe. What am I talking about? It's a chainette. So it's kind of like a lightly. You think about what like a very loose I-cord would look like. This is sort of that. This is like a big fat thing of I-cord. Do you know what? Oh my gosh. You know those new Kato machines for making I-cord? I've been like, oh yeah, what am I going to use that for? I just thought one of my cones of really thin yarn, turn it into this. That would be pretty cool. I wonder if that could work. That'd be a great experiment. I don't have one of those Kato machines. They look fantastic. I don't have one. So that's those 2 projects. They're the sort of the main ones that I've been doing. I've been doing some swatching and testing because, as we know, I went shopping at Paige's Cozy Cloud Crochet and bought some stuff. So let me just see. This was the new color of the bamboo blend I picked up. Let me just go back to here. That's the new color of the bamboo blend I picked up. I think that's the new color. Yeah, that's the new color because that's my old color and that's my new color. And so I was able to get 6 balls of those. I had added in an additional ball of the silver because there was 1 left, but they had to refund it. There wasn't actually 1 left. So they're the colors that I have. And so this is nearly like, I would consider this nearly a purple than a blue. But I love them, and I love all 3 together. I think they work. So I've been swatching these 2 together, but I think I'm going to add this one in and do a triple, like a helix sort of knitting with those 3 as well. That'll give me more choices because there is only 6 of each color, and I would be more comfortable if I had 10 to 14 of each color. Because I'm a plus size girly, I need the bigger garments. Leanne says, I'm so glad you did restart your cable headband. It's so pretty, and I thought maybe you wouldn't after frogging. And I was worried about that too, which is why I sat down and chose a color and started it, because I was also concerned about that. And then to me, I would forget the memories of what made me do it in the first place. Oh, the neighbours are having a dance party and sharing their tunes. Oh, that's so nice. Gosh. Yes, I think they are pretty colours and they feel amazing. Honestly, they feel amazing. Now, the other thing that I've been working on, I got started, is the actual blanket. Funnily enough, we got there eventually. So this is the yarn I'm using, which is the Cozy Cloud Yarn Legacy from Pages Crochet. It is, what are we working out? 330 meters for the 185 grams. These are my test swatches for my blanket. Test circles. We need like 11 of each color, so I don't think you've missed out too much. But yeah, so just doing the test circles just to see if I got gauge, and I did, no problems, which was, well, the first time round I chose a hook that was a bit too small, and with this much yarn it was obvious. So started that again. Now where is my hook? I just need to reorganize some things here because this was my shopping bag. So I've got another tape measure, I've got my crochet book, serviette, cool. Always need serviettes at IKEA, and an extra packet of those. I don't want to forget about where they are. Okay, so at IKEA I also bought new curtains. So I had to buy curtain hooks, right? That's what that's all about. Okay, back down to here. So I've dropped in some of the extra colors. So everything's going to be edged. So it starts out a circle, and then the final row as you join it together, because you can do it, you can either go through and add them all on, add on your hexie border edge straight on, and then join them together however you want. Or you can hexie border them in a join as you go, which is what I plan to do. So in the meantime, I just need to make 11 billion circles. And these circles are like, they've got some puffs and some clusters and stuff like that. And they come out to be, just as they're little circles, they are 13 centimeters, which is 5 inches. Just is it just the smidgiest bit under 5 inches? You can't read that because it's being a button, it's too bright. But anyway, trust me when I say it's 5 inches. So each of these circles is about 5 inches, and I just need to make 11 billion of them in all my beautiful colors that I have here. I think the pattern actually calls for less colors than what I have. So rather than making 11 in how many colors? Hang on a second. 11 in 5 colors. 5 colors or 4 colors plus their edge? Let me just check here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they have 5 colors plus their edge. I have, so the grey is my edging color, and I went out and I bought extra of the grey. So I have more than that. Let me just, that's the extra grey. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 colors instead of 5. I'm just squishing them all up so we can try and fit them all in. There you go. It's not the best color, not the best, you know. This is, anyway, try not to be distracted by the fact that the camera is thwarting you. So these are the colors that we've gone with. So it's a much more sort of autumny feel, considering it's spring coming into summer here. But I really love these colors. We went into much more detail about it a couple of live streams back when I first bought all of the colors. I had to go back and get more gray once I worked out what I needed. But yeah, so instead of the 5 colors where we do 11 in the 5, so 11 motifs times 5, so that's 55. Let me just check if it's 5. 1, 2. Wait a second. They've got like 90 motifs. Hold the phone a second. Let me look at this. 11 times 5 colours is 55, right? 11 times. So how do I get 90? Maybe, hang on a second. I could be reading this wrong. What's pinging? Oh, let me just check this. Okay. Let me look. So I've been doing. Wait a second. Have I been doing the wrong chart? I think I don't. Maybe I've been doing the wrong chart. Hang on a second. Oh, please tell me I'm not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I've been doing the large one. It's okay. It's okay. Just small heart attacks. It's fine. All right, so I've been doing the large rounds. So if you do the small, there's a small option where you make smaller stitches, and that's the one that has 90. I think. So now I'm having a heart attack. Where's the pattern on Ravelry? Nispin Girl says, what weight is your yarn? I've inherited a metric ton of worsted weight, 11 billion different colors. No idea what to do with it. I'm thinking probably this is about worsted weight. So it's 333 meters per 185 grams, makes it a slightly heavy worsted. So I'm getting this kind of stitch with which hook? That's a 5mm hook that I'm using with it. Now I'm freaking out. Let me go to Ravelry. Ravelry. All I have to do is type Rav, Chantel. Let me go to my projects. Let me find this one. I don't know why I thought that it was just 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many. I just need to. Someone finished it. I'm looking on their site. Everyone's holding their blankets up weird. You can't just see the thing laid out on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rows. Alrighty, like the projects look great and they're very artistic photos. Let's just go with artistic photos. That doesn't help me. Okay. Go away, ad. I'm frazzled now. I need less frazzlings. Okay. Round 3. Only complete if assembling the motifs. Okay, cool. And there's a pom-pom border if we want it, which I've seen a photo of, and that looks pretty cool. I'm just gonna fix my little camera here. There we go. I'm really perplexed now. So the pattern graph and the color legend. The gauge is 5-inch unblocked, which is what I've got practically. How do I make 90 out of 5? Am I mathing wrong? If you've got 5 colors, where did I even get? Oh, okay. So in the small one, she made 18 sunbursts out of each color. That fly is really annoying me. Well, that makes more sense if they've got 18 of each color. Round 3. Do you have any pattern notes for the big one? No, she doesn't. All right. Well, I mean, all we've got, I don't know where I got 11 from. I invented it. Oh, hello, pillow. Hello. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm going to get 18 of these out of this. Let's just continue on and see what we get. Okay. Where's my scales? See, now I'm like, wait, how on earth am I going to get 18 out of one of these? And I'm not. So if each one is sort of, hang on, 16 and a half grams, I should say, calculator. 16.5 times 18 equals, yeah, that's 300 grams. There's no way I can get 18. So clear is 185 divided by 16.5 equals 11. Maybe that's where I got 11 from. I don't know. Did I do the maths? I don't think I did. I could have sworn I've read that somewhere. So I'm probably missing a line in the pattern that's really blatantly obvious, and someone's just going to be like, Chantal, you just need to scroll down some more. So, yeah, all good. It's all good. I'm really perplexed by this software, why it's not working on my new Mac. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that in. Do the little sneaky loopy thing I've learned. So this is like a magic loop, but also the security of a chain. So you basically have your long tail and you kind of, it's really hard to see it, but you kind of just create like a largish loop around your finger a couple of times, like around the circle a couple of times, like with your, get it out of the way of your hook. And then when you're working through the middle of the circle that you've created, see, I don't know, can you see how I've got like an extra couple of loops there now? But when I work through it to pick up the chains, it works over them like it's a magic loop. So then I get to do the middle pull thing that's really cool about a magic loop. Okay, now how many do I need again? Because it feels like a lot. It's 17. So you get like the advantage of a magic loop, which is where you can cinch the middle with the confidence of a chain middle. Let me know in the chat, are you a magic loop middle person or a chain middle person? I think I've asked this before, but I'm asking again. The pattern that I'm doing right now, hang on a second, is, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. Oh, no, I'm not. I will do soon. Copy link into the chat. And I'm talking about magic looping crochet, not magic looping knitting. It is different. So the magic looping knitting is a different technique. So the magic looping crochet is when you're starting a circle and you wrap it around your fingers a couple of times rather than working over chains. Molly does a double magic loop. Bianca does very careful when sewing it in at the end. I'm a bit of a fan of this method where it's kind of both. Game Widows is a double magic looper. because this is like I've done the 5 chain because it's I've got to fit a lot of stitches on here. Plus I've also got the yarn looped around 3 times, so it's nearly like a triple magic loop. You can do it 2 times or even 1 time. It depends on how long your tail is. Holly says, I used to do magic loop until I had some granny squares bust. I've learnt from Leanne's granny square busting that I don't trust it. I've not really had any of mine come undone before, at least not that I'm aware of, but I'm not willing to risk it. So I actually really like this method. So you get to have the space of a magic loop. I just need to count here. Hang on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Look at that. Look at me getting it done. They have very specific instructions about where to join your stitches and what have you. So here, you know, I've done my chains, but I get to treat it like a magic loop, so I can just pull. So I get to have the magic of a magic loop with the security of the chains in the middle. And that's all woven in now. That's ready just to, I will probably go through and just weave it around once just to change direction. But other than that, it's done. It's woven in. It's been wrapped around 3 times and then crocheted over. I don't think my phone's on silent. Let me just check that. No, it is on silent. I don't know why it's sending messages. All right. Bianca says I'll have to try the double magic loop next time. Leanne says I used to be magic loop. Now I'm double magic loop. Yep. Sometimes we just have to do what we need to do. You know what I mean? And I don't think any of them are right or wrong. I just think that you need to do what you're comfortable with. And also think about how whoever's going to be washing it is going to launder it. So like I'm sure single magic loops would probably work just fine if they were like hand washing it and super cautious with it. And it was one of those blankets that was gently laid over something and then packed up and folded away before someone slept in the bed or whatever. I'm sure it would last. But that's not how we treat our blankets here. We have zero respect for blankets. We're like, you will keep me warm. And so, you know, it needs to do its job here. And it needs to be able to go in the washing machine is the big one. So double magic loops or double magic loops with a chain inner, which is what I've got here. Alrighty, let me just work out where I'm up to. Chain 1. And then I've just got to, it's been a little bit since I've done one. I've just got to double check how many loops are in my puff stitch here. Doesn't say. That's annoying. All right, hang on a second. Puff stitch. 7 loops. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. Back to the pattern. Alrighty. So how long do you reckon it'll take me to do this blanket? Are we counting in months, years? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing with this one? Okay, so where I was going before I had the heart attack is that she had like in my brain 11, which I've made up, but 11 motifs with 5 colors, but I've got 8 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. So I think that I think we will not need 11 motifs, or it's going to make an exceptionally large blanket. I just need that to be just a little bit further away so it draws through properly. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've lost the chat. Well, I haven't lost the chat. I'm on the wrong screen than the chat. 1. Let's try again. And it's actually like you can get into a rhythm with it, this particular one. And I quite like that. I did one of the motifs and then was just like, oh, I'm going to do a couple to make sure it's not a fluke. And I actually knocked out like 3 of the motifs like relatively quickly. I didn't time them. Game Widow says, okay, fabric chosen. It's a bit on the crazy side, but that's okay. Yeah. Sometimes the crazy stuff is the fun stuff. I think I've got to get one in this gap, but I will find out. All right. Where are we up to? That's the information I want. All right. I've got to do a quick count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. This should be 18. What have I missed one? Let's look. Did I miscount the previous row? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I slip stitched into the wrong spot is what it was. So I was one stitch over. I was like, she's very serious about where you slip stitch into, and that is why. Made my phone call to work, now to wait and see if I can get into the chiropractor. Okay. That's awesome. Got to do what we got to do for our own personal health. I know not everybody's a fan of chiropractic. I am. I like it. Not everybody does, and that's okay. But for me personally, it is, and I think like anything, finding the right one for you is what's important. And when you do find the right one, it's like for me, it's been really amazing. So, yes. But yeah, I've just been very busy with work, which I've been loving. Like it's been chaotic busy, and it's about to calm down. It's like just after the Big Vid Summit event. But then I've got another project to jump onto, so I don't think it'll be as chaotic as this one was. And by chaotic, I just mean like there was a lot to get done in a short period of time. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Get out of the way. Splitty McSplitter pants. I haven't really noticed this yarn being very splitty, but that bit then just didn't want to be crocheted. So I wouldn't describe this yarn as splitty. She says as she splits the yarn again. Maybe it is splitty. No, I don't think it is. Look, I haven't noticed it being splitty in any of this, so I think I'm just not focusing properly. I've got an optometrist appointment. They sent through, you know, how they send through the letter and they're like, look, you're actually due like for your annual visit in May 2024. You are well and truly overdue. I was just like, okay, fair enough. Alrighty, this is looking a bit better. Let me just do the quick count here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yay! It's amazing what working into the right stitch does. Amazing. Alrighty. I did not do that into the right stitch this time because I have to go into the chain space between the puffs. She's got great tutorials on how to do it all. Very step by step. I definitely needed the step by step. Especially just for these. It might have been my brain. Honestly, it could legit have been my brain, but I just couldn't get my head around this next row that I was on, and it was like I'm like, but it looks so simple. Why is it so hard? And it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all. It was just my brain wasn't putting two and two together. So luckily for us, she has some really in-depth and really clear instruction videos. Now, one thing I'll say is she does go on a little bit of a rampage about how unreliable Magic Loop is. So the comment area is actually a little bit of a dumpster fire about that, which surprised me, to be honest. Because, you know, we have all had friends who've lost projects because of magic loops, like single magic loops coming undone. So I just don't understand people's like upset over it. Leanne says, I'm well over my skin check and now I'm worried about having things done this close to Christmas. Look, we've only just decided like last week that Christmas is going to be at my place again this year. It's been a bit hard planning Christmas just because it's going to be our first one without mum there. So everyone's sort of been a little bit less committal in their responses until last week. And then I got some like, hey, we're coming or we're not coming or whatever. So like first of all, it was like, are you sure you still want to do Christmas at yours? And I was just like, yep, let's do it. And Abby's done the back patio up beautifully. And so we don't have the mad dash tidy before Christmas we usually do. We still got some tidy. There's still some of my things that take over space in the living room. Not gonna lie. Some of it can be utilized for Christmas, like the old big white desk. It sits behind a couch, so it gets used as like a little workstation out in the living room, which is great. But yeah, so you know that'll need to move out to the middle. But aside from that, like, and some boxes which can just get poked in here. The big one's the treadmill. Now, luckily, it does like fold up and you can push it into a corner, but it's still a bit of annoyance. Still a bit of annoyance. So, what am I doing? I'm doing a puff instead of a, what are these called? I don't know. Not puffs. I love this color. Like, I love it. Well, they're kind of a bit flat to be bobbles. What does she call them? Hang on. She calls them, written right here in the pattern, DC clusters. So they're treble clusters, really, like DC double crochet, US, treble Australia, but they're clusters. Then we just, and then the next row is those again, but a little bit bigger clusters. Instead of 4 clusters, we have 5 clusters. And then that's it. And that's the end of our circle. So we're nearly there. We're halfway there already. Sorry, my brain's a little bit frazzled this morning. I'm actually really enjoying just sitting here crafting, because basically all the craft I've gotten done this week is I think I did one of these, and I did this, and then end of last week I finished off the blanket. That's it. Then we just keep it going. Oh, not enough clusters. Start again. Am I the only one who's like, oh, look, you could just pull it out and very carefully put your hook back into the top of the two, or just rip them all out and start again? I will say this is the 4th knot in this ball. Usually I cut knots and redo them, but in this instance they should be fine. But yeah, that hopefully this is just an odd ball out. We'll find out. We'll find out. There we go. And alrighty. Oh, stop that. Molly says, I like to leave a bit of a long tail when I do magic loop, then I weave it in. Usually a couple more times around the inner circle, through the rest of the stitches to the end of the tail. Yeah, look, and I think you're smart to do that. And it just gives you that ease of knowing it's not coming undone. So with what I've done here, because I start with the 5 chain, the worst that can happen if my extra loops around the middle come undone is it loosens out to whatever the 5 chain would have been, because they're 5 chains. It's not going to come undone, which is really, really, it for me, it's like a suspenders and belt thing. And I know not everybody is happy with that, but, and so basically I've had 5 chains and then 3 wraps of the yarn, and then that's the tail, and I'll actually weave that back the other way and then trim it off. So yeah, then I'm here. Oops, I just about had a heart attack. I'm like reading the wrong row. I'm reading the wrong row. It's okay. Like, I'm not doing that. I didn't do that on any of the others. Oh my gosh. It's the instructions for the hexy bit. So now 2, 5 of them on there. 1, 2. Is it still? No, it's chain 3 at the end. There we go. Holly said, Knitspin Girl says, I never trust a factory knot. I always cut it and retie it with long enough ends to weave in. I normally do, but the first few that I tested, they are really tight knots. So I'm just leaving them. And they're getting worked into a puff or something like that. So they should be okay. Should being the operative. Now I'm stressed out. Holly says, I wasn't planning on working on my hexagon blanket during the live, but since you're working on yours, I'll work on mine too. There we go. Molly says, I've had magic loops come undone before, so I'm extra careful now. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like, I love the idea of the magic loop, but like you, I'm like super vigilant with it. Just because you don't want all that work coming undone just because of a piece of yarn moving. Nikki Maritz, it's great to see you. Today is a spinning day. Just arrived. It's raining in New Zealand. That's great to have you here. What wheel do you spin on, out of curiosity? You're in like the spinning wheel capital of the world. There's 4, so I need one more. And then we keep it going. Also, what's your favorite fiber to spin? That's not just for Nikki. If anyone else in the chat's a spinner, what kind of wheel have you got and what's your go-to fiber? 2, 4, one more. We haven't done a spinning live stream for a while, have we? Maybe after, maybe after Christmas, I can, when I put my office back together, I'll set it up. It takes a lot more stuff. Nikki's on a support spindle today. No wheelers yet. My house is too small right now. Doing a blend of merino, silk, and Corriedale with a sunflower theme. That sounds gorgeous. What's your favorite shape of support spindle? I'm a bit of I like a Russian spindle myself, but I know not everybody is into that. I also like the Tibetans as well, but I do like the Russians when it comes to spindles shapes. Being very specific there with my wording. When it comes to the shapes of timber supported spindles. That fly needs to go away. It's attracted to the light is what it is. Abby has been very, very diligently lighting the external of the house up for Christmas. She's placed about 17,000 sets of Christmas lights out. It looks amazing. And one of her friends was having a little bit of a dig at her about the Christmas lights. She's like, because Abby's like, oh yeah, I'm going to set them all up at home, blah, blah, blah. And her friend's like, well, your mum's really going to love that electricity bill. And Abby's like, they're all solar lights. There is no added electricity bill. They're all solar. The one plus of having Christmas in summer. The Game Widow says, I have many spindles, a roadbug wheel, an Ashford E3, an electric eel 6, and a nano. One day when I grow up and I save many dollars, I'll get a Margecraft Susie Pro. I love my Margecraft Susie Pro. A lot. Knitspin Girl says, I have a few wheels. The one I use most is a Margecraft Susie. My current favourite fibre is Castledale from Beersheba. Mine too. That's my go-to fibre for just about everything at the moment. I do love like Tarkley spinning cotton. I do like doing that. I do get enjoyment out of that. Did I make enough there? 2, 4, yeah, there's 5. It just feels small. Good morning, Vanfie. It's great to see you. Nikki says, I'll be getting an e-spinner from Ashford when my fibre supplier upgrades. Oh, nice. Nice. What are they upgrading to? Beersheba is an amazing farmer in Australia who's developed her own breed of sheep, um, and they are like the Castledales. They're a merino blended sheep, like a cross, not blend. It's a merino cross sheep. That's a lot hardier in the field, and the fiber is amazing. The fiber is just so beautiful. So you Google, I think it's Beersheba Farm, and she hand dyes the fiber top, and you can buy it in top, which she has processed fully and locally within Australia. Actually all within a driving distance of her house, pretty much, or her farm, I should say. Or you can buy the raw fleece as well. I don't think you'd be able to get the raw fleece because of international stuff. But you can also get it if you're in Australia, the raw fleece. So not a mill, but a farm, and she goes through the process. She gets her flock sheared, and then she takes it off to get it scoured, and then she takes it off to get popped into top, which is just beautiful. I happen to have one right here. Hang on. Out of the way. Here is one I prepared earlier. Bloop. What's that? That's just some fluff. So this is some Castledale violets. I'm not sure what her pricing is now. This 100 gram was $18. And it's so lofty and soft and beautiful and just spins up like a dream. So it's not, how do I describe this? It's not as soft as like 18 micron merino, right? It's not. But it's soft. Like, what is it? Does she have the microns on here? 24 micron it's got on here on this particular braid. It does change because it depends on her fleece. And I've seen it go down to 22, sometimes it's 24. But it's still long staples. So sometimes when we buy yarn in stores and it's a 24 micron yarn, so I think Cleckheaton Country is classed as a 24 micron, might be 26, but it's short. And so that means you get the little spiky bits sometimes, which is not awesome. This is still beautiful long staple, and it's 20 and 24 microns. So I would say, no, Nikki, please, no. We love all the crafts here, and let's just be honest, it doesn't take much to derail me. But yeah, so it's beautiful. It's beautiful to work with. I highly recommend it. Thank you, Leanne. That's Beersheba's Farm. She has sponsored retreats. She's been a stall buddy at Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show, like just the next stall down. She's an amazing person, honestly, and she's got such a passion for her animals, and she looks after them so carefully. If you go over to the Big Wool Show YouTube channel, you can still see some of the videos where she was like live streaming with her, where she was walking with the sheep. Over and I think she's got a YouTube channel that might have some mod videos on it as well. So have a look out for that. I'm going to go and put this back. Get in the bucket. Alrighty then. Oh yeah, we're all fibre and yarn junkies here. We don't mind at all. Like, not any questions, fibre, yarn, craft related, you drop them in here. I may not have the answers, but I might be able to put you in, point you in the right direction. So yeah, love all things fluff. Things fluff. Actually, I actually haven't done any spinning in a very long time now that I think about it. My knees have been very sore. And they are starting to ease up, which I am thoroughly appreciating. I didn't realize how much inflammation I had until it started going down. I thought it was just my knees. I thought that's just what they do now. I didn't realize that it was all inflammation and it's all coming down. So, yeah. I have nail binding for when my kid goes swimming and I have to wait for like an hour making merino socks. Wow. I've not really done, I do have nail binding needles, hooks, but I've not done any. So, yeah. Go. And one more. Right, let me just do it. And they said not to panic if it bowls up a bit because when you hexie it out, it flattens. And I did one to test it and it really does. I'll do a quick count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yay. Oh, how good is that? Finding the perfect size interfacing offcut. Love it. Oh yeah, like Scott Snyder's, his spindles are my favorite spindles. Absolute favorite spindles. Like, do I have even? No, I've got them all put away. I was gonna say, do I have one in my cup over there? I do not. I um, it is. I have a whole basket of spindles, and I'm like, should I just go and get them? No, no, I shouldn't. I shouldn't just get my entire basket of spindles to pull out my Scott Snyders. But I do have some Scott Snyders. Okay, let's just go with that. Uh, I'm spinning a roll ag a day, and then in December I have made my own fibre advent calendar to spin a roll ag a day with an English country garden theme, and I can't wait. I love that. I love that. You know what? This year I've got no advents coming, right? I didn't order any. I intentionally didn't order any. I was a bit disappointed last year. And I probably could, like, let's be honest, I do have enough fiber that I could literally sit down and make myself an advent calendar for it. But then I just have redistributed my own fiber. So, yeah, I don't know. Should we do another color just to see how it comes up, or just keep going with this one and finish off the ball? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat while I drink some coffee. Oh, I didn't put. Oh, oops! Come back, little fluffs. This is some 18 micron fiber that I have, that I washed, like that I washed myself, like scoured. This stuff is just divine. I've just got this little ball of it left over from another project. I recently started reading a book that mentioned a nail binding cap instead of a knitted cap. It surprised me a little. Nikki is an enabler. She is more than welcome here. Absolutely. Scott Snyder's link for Scott Spindles. Do that as well. We need to share all of the links. Deb says, I could come over and make an advent calendar for you. You could. What I actually want to do this month, my ultimate goal, I'm just going to go to this, go here for a second while we decide if I'm going to change colors or keep going with the blue. So change your blue in the chat. Let me know which one you want. I want to get my curtains finished. So I've washed and hung 2 sets over the double glass sliding door. Because you got to wash them before you can hem them, because they change shape a little bit. So especially, like, I bought cheap curtains. Like, let's be honest. They were $59 a set. 100% cotton, and I wanted to see how they looked on the door, and I was a bit impatient. So I washed them and I've hung them up, and I have ironed one, like since it's dried, I've ironed one and it pinned it and ready so that I know what to do with all the rest of the curtains. And I've got another 2 sets that I need to wash and hang up for the other 2 windows. And I want to get those finished so that they're all done and dusted. Now, I do have the one that we have to keep opening and closing for the door. That one's pinned up, ready to stitch. So I probably should just get that one stitched and out of the way so that we don't have to worry about that anymore. And the others are all just sort of plopped down. They don't really move all that much. So it doesn't matter so much that they're not hemmed. But I don't want that, because they might just sit there unhemmed for 5 years if I do that. Like, they're not in the way, they're not doing anything, they're not anywhere in a walkway or pathway, they're behind furniture, they're not seen from the inside. They are seen from the outside, they're not seen from the inside. And the others, the bottoms of the curtains aren't seen from the inside either, and they're behind, one's behind a couch and one's behind a hutch. So again, I could wash those and get them hung, and so that they can, I like to hang in position to let them dry. And then press them out and go from there. Now, usually I won't bother pressing them. I'll just let nature take its course. But when I want to hem it, I want to press it first. So I've got that all sorted out. I know exactly what I want to do there. So I want to get that done. But then after that, do I want to, I don't know what I want to do next, to be honest. Like, I've got some crafty projects to do, but I'm like, do I want to do something? Do I want to do something Christmas themed? And you know, put that kind of pressure on. And I'm not sure if I do. You know, like I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure which way we'll go with that. But there's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, we've had. Let me look here. Leanne says to change color. Vampire says to change color. So I mean, and Nikki says, so 3 of you say change color. The rest of you don't seem to care. So I'm going to change color. And just because I can, I'm going to choose the purple. If I can find the middle. Let's see if we can find the middle. Yeah, so like I've got curtains for, like, it's a double glass sliding door, which is 2.4 meters wide. And then 2 windows, which are 1.8 meter wide each. And I got enough curtains for all of that, and hooks for like $250. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Which I don't know where you are. I cannot usually get curtains for that sort of price. That's just ridiculously cheap. And so I was really dubious that they were going to be good. And I'm so far pleased to say how wrong I was, and that I am very happy with my purchase. So I just think, you know, sometimes we have to trust the process, because I wanted curtains that stopped the glare from coming through into our living area. That also look nice. Molly, what trick did you post? Is it a starting the circle trick? Because I'm just going to go with this one for now. But I'll look it up, and we might be able to do it on one of the others, on one of the other circles, because we're going to have 11 billion circles to go. 17. we're going. Yeah, so I want to get that done. I want to get my stripy sweater done. And I've got a couple more edits to do for this current project, which that message I got before was them telling me that I can download the data for it now. So after the live stream, I'll get that downloading while I have my lunch. So maybe if I'm really lucky, some of those might be done today. And then my brain will function. Maybe it'll function better. I mean, here's hoping, right? Here's hoping. I could be wrong. Oops, that's a bit loose there. Let's try again. Try again. But yeah, so we'll see how that all goes. Let me just, I've got a very good camera here. I wonder if I've got it set up yet. I've got the software. I'm just thinking maybe it'll work better than what I've got here. It might not. Oh, and how to find the middle of the ball. Stand it on its end and bash it down a couple of times. Here we go. Here's a fresh ball. So stand it on its end, bash it down. Is that enough? And then you just and pull the end out. Am I pulling on the right? Like, am I trying to pull it out of this end, or do I pull it out of the other end? Am I not hitting it hard enough? Everything's shaking. No, I must be doing it wrong. That's right. I'll watch the video. I'll watch a video on how to do it and try and get that right. Okay, let's see if we can connect. Tail. Yep. The tail's plugged in, is it not? Yes, it is. It's on. Let me see if I can turn it off and on again. It's making noises. Okay, let's see if we can get a better shot in the hands. That is not it. Okay. It needs to come over a bit closer. You've come into a complete puzzlement. Yes, you have. We're just trying to sort out an alternative camera option. Okay, so let's see if that works. It's a bit of a different angle. Let me know. I gotta count. So we've got, what is that? That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I need 2 more. I'm sure if I set my tail air up where my other webcam is, it could give us a great shot in the right angle. But it's probably not in the best position. I've done something really janky at the start here. What did I do? I have to go back and fix it. I don't know what I've done. The new angle is fun. Well, that's good. Oh, I see what I did. I accidentally got caught up through the strands. Okay. Alrighty. I see. Might totally start again. One, two, three, four, five. Join that circle. 1, 2, and then arapi. I could probably put the hook down, but if I do, I'm going to lose all the positioning. I frogged it. Okay, now. Oh, I see. I did exactly the same thing again. Oh, I'm doing the loopy loops after I do my. All right, I see what I'm doing wrong. I see what I'm doing wrong. Let's fix it. Okay. Now we'll do our chains. They're sitting above and out of the way. Good. Talk about fiddly. Wasn't as fiddly last time, I swear it. Okay. Alrighty. Let me just see if there's a way. Oh, Russell came in while I was smacking the yarn. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that would have been perplexing. There is a apparent method that if you whack the bottom of the yarn or the top of the yarn, the end should come out so that you don't end up pulling out all that out of the middle of the ball. And we were just testing to see if it worked, or at least if it worked for me. And I may not be doing it right. So I'm going to go and look in, find the instructions because it didn't work for me. I'm going to go and find instructions and see if I can't fix that up. Because I like working from the center of the balls, but I would also like to not have to work through like 2 circles to use up the yarn buff that you accidentally pull out in the process. I've done something here. There's a bit of a jank up, but I'll pull that to the back. Let me count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. I got heaps want to fit in. Well, I mean, that would explain why it was a bit weird coming in when he did. Alrighty, I think I've got to get one more in. Let's see. I was dealing with naughty yarn. Yes, I was. Yeah. I just frogged 14 hours of crochet. I went rogue on a pattern whilst I liked what I did. There was far too many stitches at the top. Oh, goodness. Sometimes you just have to make that call, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Woot woot. We got the right number. Okay, then we join in there. We do our little puff stitch. Get the puff stitches going. But I just might pull this middle. There we go. Get that where we want it. Oh, stop that. Try again. 1, 2, 3. What do you think of the purple? I don't know what she calls it. I don't know what kind of purple is it. She has like 5 different purples or something. But I chose this one. I think it looks lovely next to this green, this blue. I'm like trying to show it to this camera here. No, this one here is the one we've got on. What do you guys think? Do you like this camera angle? A bit different? Something a bit of... Oh, lots of purple hearts. Look at those purple... Ah, Knitspin girls. Of course. Yeah, I think it would be better if we could get it. I wonder, I wonder if this arm can just straight up take the weight of it and I just replace it. I don't know. Can I even just look? This is on a monitor here. Leanne's craft room said, "Now that I see how you wrap that towel, it's awesome. It's a bit different, isn't it?" Can we zoom out a little? I don't know if we can. I'm sure we can. There we go. The furriness on the bottom is because of how much because it's tilting right down and it's catching the lip of its own body kind of thing. I kind of want just a little bit more of that. There we go. Bit grainy. Bit grainy. Why is that grainy? Um, I don't know how to fix it. I've not really played too much with the with this at all. Um, yeah, I don't know. This is an Obsbot Tail Air 2, I want to say. Might be a tail air. I don't know. It's one of the tail airs. I don't know which model. It should technically be able to track me if I put it on tracking, but I haven't. what it does do is it shows the better color of this, being this more olivey kind of weird color than just brown. It definitely does better on this color than the others have, because usually it's just another version of brown. But that's, I mean, it's not perfect, but gosh, that's way better than the old. This color is really, see, even in the really good Sony camera, it makes it kind of this browny color, but it really is more of this kind of olivey, greeny, glowy thing. It's a cool color. Cameras don't like it, apparently. Apparently, I can't do a project that doesn't have at least one color that sends the cameras like screaming. It was a hot pink. Now it's this one. And I was like really cautious and aware that to not choose the hot pink. Oh, did I do 4 on that one instead of 3? I think I did. It's a bit too much. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's good with the colors. I'll definitely give it that. If I can work out how to get rid of some of the graininess and maneuver it a bit better, I'm going to bring this in to the usual guys, instead of just using it as a bit of a stock standard webcam for meetings, which is what I tend to do. I can use the other one for stock standard webcams for meetings. All right, we should have 18 puffs now. I have to give it a count because I can't be trusted. Russell says it doesn't look that grainy here. Nice depth of field. I like the shot. I obviously haven't played around with setting up the shot and giving it a proper. I mean, technically speaking, I could go back here. No, not to that one. To this one, and actually replace the replace it with the OBS bot. I might actually duplicate it before I do this. Just duplicate it so that if I trash it, I haven't trashed the one that I like. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you for putting up that page. So, okay, so let us edit this page. So this page has, there we go. So you get more of the shot. What do you think? I don't like that it's showing more of my body. I'm like, how do I stop that? Stop that. More yarn. Nope, I can't because the monitor gets in the way. I just have to accept that my body's in the shot. I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, I know exactly how I feel about that. I don't like it. I just don't like it. All right, I'm going to pop that in there and I'm going to do a count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, good. Everything is cut out, and by complete coincidence, the tread already on my machine matches the tread. I'm not quite sure what that is. Now we're into our clusters. Oh, one too many. 1, 2. Oh, the thread. Okay. Did you say thread and I just misread that? No, it did say tread. Okay, no, that's all good. It's all good. I thought maybe my brain was just hurting because it's hurting. And one more. There, and let's go in the gap, not some random spot that we've just decided we're going to go. Well, there we go. Look, we've set up a new angle. We've set up a new shot with the camera that's just been sitting here being underutilized for ages. Last week, on Monday, I should say, with after I did my live stream, during it, I realized that my monitor arm for the other monitor was hanging on by the merest amount. I don't know how or why I've managed to push it off the back of, like, the actual clamp off the back of the table. I don't know, but I had. And so I had to sort of get in under the desk and readjust the clamp and get all that sort of sorted. So while I was there, I decided to rejig my desk. And I bought a new piece of equipment, which was the new Rode hub, which I really love, I have to say. And it was able to, between the new Rode hub and the new Mac Mini, I've been able to clear out a whole pile of space, and it's opened out a whole section of my desk. In the Yetis today, we have water and coffee. I only have the 2 Yetis today. There we go. So yes, I've been able to open out all this extra space on my desk as well, which has been really nice. So I had a good old desk clean up. I just want to clarify, this desk got cleaned up and not that one, which looks like an absolute dumpster fire. There'll be no shots of that one today. I went through, I was looking for some particular 4-ply yarn, so I absolutely trashed my sort of Kallax, and then just dumped it all on my desk over there, my work table. So it needs a refresh. Because, like, what I'd love to be able to do is actually set up that work table and put one of my sewing machines up on it. That's what I'd love to do. We'll have to wait and see. Certainly won't be done before Christmas. In the meantime, I'll just use the sewing machine on the dining table or on this table, which is what I've been doing so far. Or even on my white desk out in the living room. Because it does not make the desk judder. Russell says, I bought my stepson a Mac Mini and he couldn't believe how small it is with so much power. I know. Look, I know not everyone likes Macs, right? I get that. And I was not a big fan for a long, long, long time. But then when the silicon chips came in, my attitude changed to the Mac Minis, or to Macs in general. And I got the M1 Mac Mini, and that thing has been an absolute beast. Unfortunately, it could not handle some of the edits that I'm doing for client work, and I needed to do all those on my laptop. And then my laptop had to go to the Apple doctors last week. Or last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. Anyway, so then I was not going to have anything to work on, that, like, because I had deadlines for some edits, and I was going to be without a computer for days. And so I bit the bullet and made the decision to upgrade the Mac Mini. Which, I'd had it for a long time. It had been great. But so I jumped from the M1 16 gigabit to the M4 Pro. I don't know what gigabit it is. I think it's 24. I I went from like the Mac Mini would render. Oh man, how many of those have I done that to? Just that one? I've forgotten to do the chains between the clusters is what I'm talking about. So these edits would take about 45 minutes to render on the Mac Mini, and they take 12 minutes to render on the new Mac Mini. And just a huge difference. And just like I'm not even worried about maxing out the memory anymore. Like I've had Premiere Pro, Audition, Photoshop, plus all the web browsers and everything. And it's just doesn't even blip it on the 24. I think, oh yeah, 24 gig I've got. And I think the only issue I've had is space. Because I've been having to download like terabytes of data. So, that's been the only real issue is just space, which that's a Mac issue. But it's just I nearly did the exact same thing again. 2 chains, please, between the clusters. You great Gumby. But yeah, he got the 48 gig one. That's phenomenal. But it's an absolute beast. And I just I could not I'm going to be really controversial. I could not buy a PC with the same processing power for the same money. I couldn't. Not as a Mac Mini. MacBook Pros, I think, are ridiculously overpriced. The Mac Minis are not. And you can get a lot out of I got a fairly decently spec'd Mac Mini. I didn't upgrade any of the memory space, the storage space, but I've got the Pro chip and the M4 Pro chip and also the 24 gig. You cannot compare. Some people are like, oh, 16 gig, what can you do with that? On a PC, it's different. They're not measured. It's like the magic loop. If you discuss magic loop with a knitter versus a crochet, you're talking about 2 different things. It's the same things with RAM on computers now. 2 totally different things. Anyway, absolute insane. It's a beast of a machine, and unless something seriously dramatic happens, I'm not going to need to upgrade for at least 5 years, which is insane. He bought a 2 terabyte portable SSDs for storage. USB though, not FireWire. The fire drives. Oh yeah. Look, if you can get a USB, I'm using Samsung T7 hard drives, and I'm editing off the hard drives, no problems. I don't think we need the FireWire. I don't think we need the Thunderbolt the Thunderbolt ports. Oh, I haven't got enough on this one. This is what happens when I talk computers when I'm trying to crochet. I obviously don't know everything about these things at all. Not even close. Okay, let's be really honest. I would consider myself a beginner in the land of Mac, right? But I am moderate to advanced in the land of PC. And I honestly just think I've had no problems. And I've had a chat to a few people who edit full on productions. I'm editing fairly basic stuff. I figured you meant Thunderbolt. It's really hard to get Thunderbolt SSDs. They're very expensive if you can find them, but you don't need them. You just don't need them. But yeah, it's I picked up a T7 2 terabyte portable drive. I'm gonna need another one, I think, just for the sheer amount of data that I'm working on at the moment. But yeah, aside from that, it's fantastic. And I actually jumped on a call today with like my usual people I go to for all my computer stuff. And I was talking to them about like the possibilities of setting up like an NVMe hard drive for my Mac. And they just went, that's overkill. Just go to Officeworks and buy a Samsung. I'm like, I already got that. And they're like, get another one. I was like, really? And they're like, yep. You don't need to go crazy. I was like, oh, okay. I thought that was like the basic. The PC horse. Here we go. Russell says, because Russell's a PC man. In PCs, the horsepower needs to be in the video processor. The ones built into the Macs are fabulous. Yeah, and they share. Like, whichever section needs more power, it just takes the power. Yeah. And I can tell you the jump from M1 to M4 has been like really different. Like I wasn't expecting it to be such a big jump, honestly. I was expecting to sort of go, oh yeah, cool. But now I'm just like, holy dooly. Like I'm gaining, out of like 15 edits, I've gained half an hour of my life back, or like work time back with not waiting for them to render. Oh, and being able to use Photoshop while rendering something without the computer like going, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is such the best plan. Like, yeah, it's just been a little bit of an eye opener. Funny though, not long ago you thought the M1 was sufficient. It is if you are not doing major edits. And I started doing major edits. So for anything else, like I haven't gotten rid of my M1. It's moving out to our living room. It's going to become, it's going to have a new job out there. But I would say even like my daughter, she's got a MacBook M1 Air. She does not need to upgrade. If I wasn't doing all of the edits that I'm doing, I probably wouldn't have updated, at least for a while. I would have waited until, because my MacBook's an M3. I would have waited. I was actually thinking I might upgrade when the M5 comes out. I might do that. But then I got to a point where it was just like, okay, I really do need this extra oomph for this work that I'm doing right now. So, and I've got more of it coming. So it was like a tough call, because I was like, do I spend the money? Do I do it? Do I don't do it? Like, what do I do? Oh no. I was, all over the shop with it. But yeah. When you say major, how many minutes of video? Okay, so the videos are a little over an hour long each. A little bit of color correction, nothing dramatic. There's no major transitions. Let me just think. There's like a few different layers. There's some layer adjustments. Nothing over the top, right? Nothing like way more serious than anything I do, like way bigger. Most of my videos are normally between 5 and 10 minutes. These are coming in over, a lot of them over an hour. And the render time went from 45 minutes down to 12. So, yeah. Oh, and some audio editing. Oh, and they're also 1080p. So there is some issues with a couple of the different files. I've got different frame rates and stuff, so it's got to do a bit of jiggery pokery there. The M1 struggled with that. The M4 does not. Let me just think, what else do we need to know? But yeah, so it was just the M1, just like, I would edit sort of 5 to 10 minute 4K videos on the M1, no problems. And again, not major edits, lots of cutting and pasting, a little bit of sort of adjustment layers, a little bit of color correction, nothing too over the top. And the M1 would do that, but it was not liking them being like over an hour long. So you got to get what you need, and I think for the most part, M1 is perfectly fine. For most users, I think an M1 is perfectly fine. Which I don't even think you can get an M1 now, but so maybe an M2. I don't know. Can you get an M2 now? But anyway, perfectly good. If you can get an M1 and you can get it off like Craigslist or something like that, oh man, then you'd be laughing. But in saying that, don't go the 8 gig. Never go the 8 gig. Always the 60. I do a lot of 4K in drone Osmo, but output out 1080. It was the 4K drone stuff that made me do a major upgrade. Yeah, the 4K stuff definitely does. And do the drones do the like they have to, the stuff has to get edited a special way to stop the curve? I haven't done any drone editing, so I could be, making stuff up. Oops, I should probably have counted that before I cut it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Well, that was lucky. That was lucky. But yeah, I just, you got to get what you need for what you're doing. I'm actually not going to start another. This has been a fun camera angle for me, and I'm loving how it picks up the colors. Should we keep something like this? Look at this, you can see my little, my little nest of messy that I normally you guys can't normally see. What do you think? What do you think of this shot? Like, oh, okay, it's the 360 videos that I'm confused with. They're round to flat. Okay, that's all right. I was a bit confused between the drone and the 360, and I knew you'd done the 360s. Anyway, I like this shot. I don't like that it's grainy, but I like this shot. Bit of fun. Let's see how many of these skeins of yarn we can pull into the shot just for. Got the grey. This is the edge. This is going to be the edge color of everything. It's going to be that turns all the circles into little hexes and then joins them all together. We've got our blue. And no, we need to pull it back there. Put that one there. And then we need the brown needs to come in. There we go. We've got them all. As long as you wear a loose fitting, I only wear loose fitting blouses. It's all good. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to play with it because I don't like how much of me is in the shot. That's an issue. I like more of the desk, less of me, more of the desk. So let me just see if I can just go like that. Because funnily enough, it's actually just sitting up on the top of a monitor right now. So I'm just moving the monitor around just to see if we can. Yeah, that could be better. That could be better. There's a blurry corner which I'll need to play with. But yeah, that's less of me. Less of me. Cool. Yeah. I like how it shows the color. I really do. I really do like how it's showing all the color. We just got to. I'm just playing. I'm just tweaking and playing now. Let's have a look here. So Nikki the Enabler. Oh, because of Nikki the Enabler, I bought my first spindle today. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Kerry says, I like the desk shot. So do you like the old one or this one? Because I don't know. Sandy says, please remind me of what you're making. I am making the Coastline Sunburst blanket. From the it'll be a hexie. Let me just jump to a last minute screen share. There we go. That's what we're making. is the Coastline Sunburst Hexie. We're using a few extra colours. Oh, Russell says I don't see the graininess and the lettering on the yarn is quite sharp. Okay, I will not play with that anymore. I'll leave that as is. But yes, this is the blanket that I'm making. But instead of the 5 colors that they're using, I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm using 8 colors. And I will not get 18 motifs. I think she says 18 out of each color. I won't. It looks like I'm going to get 11. So, yeah. So, and look at I do like the little pom-pom edging as well. Kerry says, now we see your work like we are sitting at the table, your head in the face cam. Oh yeah, I suppose I never thought of it like that. I've always thought of it as you would prefer to see the sort of, shot down so it's clearer to see. I never realized you'd want to see like you were sitting next to me rather than getting a better look down view. So instead of this view, which I don't have this other one set up yet. Where is that? Oh man, where did I save it to? So it's a copy of, there we go, this one. So yeah, it's more like you're sitting next to me, isn't it? I'll have to have a play with it, I think. Because I like it. And I see what you mean by you can read all the lettering. Yep. Definitely. Oh, move that one as well. And I just love how it picks up the color. That to me is the winner. Even if it was as grainy for you as it is for me, the fact that it can pick, I'm like, where is that pink? Oh god, I've got some red. Oh, I've got this pink. Let's see if it picks this pink up properly. Oh, wow. Yes. Okay. It definitely picks up the colors a little. It's not quite the pink, but it's very good. And you're right, it is very sharp. Maybe it's over sharpening. Can I don't know if I can change that. Image. I've got like a lot of compensation going on. Let me just see if I can, what happens if I just adjust that a little bit. Oh no, nope, that's too dark. Huh. I think that was just exposure compensation I was playing with. Focus mode, anti-flicker, white balance. I'm not touching that. I'm really happy with how its color's going. I'm not touching any of that. Is there any way to adjust the sharpness? It's all I'm looking for. Nope. It appears not. I'm going to have a dig in. Could be a better, I think it's a much better white balance, which is why I'm not touching it. Because I really tried hard to get that white balance right. Because like that's the other thing. It would do janky stuff to my skin, and my skin never looked like my skin. And if I got it to match the yarn colors, my skin would be red. Like, where is that? Do I have any of that pink left? I don't think I do. Where's my other hat? This is my other hat. Oh, it washes out the teal a little bit. That's a lot brighter, but that's about right. It's a little washed out. Maybe when I changed it, maybe I bodged something up. Auto. There we go. I did. I accidentally had it too. I didn't put it back to where it was. So that's better. The teal's still a bit pale compared to real life the teal. Not too bad. Oh man. I'm like, where's something with that hot pink? That set the camera off like a million times. I mean, here is something hot pink. That is eye melting hot pink. So it tones it down. But anyway, I'm like, I'm going to play with that. I didn't consider it an option because I couldn't get it top down like the other one. So I thought, no one's going to want that. But you don't want top down. You want like you're sitting next to me, but you can still see my hands and my work, but next to me. And I think I can work with that. I've got a spare stand. I can stand one up here on the corner of my desk out of my way, and then it doesn't have to deal with the monitor. And I think I've got some tech fun to do. I got some tech stuff to have a play with. I'm just thinking my fingertips are where I would put the stand. No, it won't interfere with anything. I did finish my hat. My hat is all done. And I finished a blanket too, Sandy. The join as you go blue, red, and white crochet one, that's all done too. But yeah, the hat's all done. And I'm gonna mess up my hair. Okay. So you can have it either rolled over if you want it rolled over, or you can have it not rolled over and a bit slouchy. I haven't blocked it yet, so the back's still a bit pokey and pointy. Or you can have it, you know, with more of the speckles, and you can choose what you want to do. So you can be super toasty and warm and have it very thick around your ears and pull it right down and have it super thick. So 4 layers of 4-ply over your ears. So yeah. Anyway, there's my hat. It's all done. It is reversible. Yep. That's why it took so long. So yeah, because it's just like it was 8 inches of that, then 6 inches of the teal, and then 8 inches of the purple. So yeah, it's like a football shape, sort of, or a, I don't know, a pill shape. So then you poke one side inside the other, get the little middles to meet up properly as best you can. Give it a shake. So this is the muscle burrow pattern. And this is my second one now. So the first one I made was all one colour, which my husband has in a beautiful dark blue hand-dyed yarn that I made. And this one's got a bit of fibre lily hand-dyed. This is one of mine. And then this one in here is green tea yarns. So I got to put in some local dyes, which is great. But yes, that's it. That's it for today. I've just looked at the time. None of you told me I was running over. So that to me tells me you've either just left because you're bored, which I understand, or that you're actually having as much fun as I was. Oh, also, I've got this much left over of the 3, so I've totally got enough left over to make a cowl or something like that. So, yeah, and I think I will. I think that's going to be something I do, is make a matching cowl to go with that beanie. I'm thinking like a double thick one, maybe. I'm thinking stripes rather than, or maybe even, I don't know, maybe a linen stitch or something, just so that I can be on. Nikki says, I joined after you'd been on for about an hour, but I enjoyed it. I'm glad. I hope to see you back. I'm a same bat time, same bat station every week. But 10 a.m. Brisbane time every Thursday. So I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna have some lunch. I'm gonna play with this camera after I clean my desk back up while I'm downloading all the data for the next project. So it is easy to get so lost in the art of yarning. Yes, it is, and both kinds of yarn too, definitely. Thanks so much for joining, and I will catch you all next time. Bye now. If I can find my, bye now thing. Bye.